We went to see our friends at Boyce Industries today and picked up our order of oval tubing. So this is going to make up our exhaust. We got 2 more pieces that we got to get, and we should be able to get everything from the headers back and out the sides of the car. We got a couple of 45s here and 6 lengths, 3-foot lengths of straight tubing, and looks like really nice stuff. So that'll be a project for another day, but we're gathering up all the parts and pieces. The other thing that we're working on is this god-awful bracket that was on there to adjust the alternator belt tension. Man, it's all shiny and polished, but that's the worst looking contraption I have ever seen in my life. So we've got, how many pieces here? 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 4 pieces, 4 bolts plus a bolt there and a bolt there, 6 bolts. It's ridiculous. It sat in there like that, and I guess somebody thought that it looked nice. I didn't, so we took it off. And I think what we've got, if I can find it, will be the next question. What I did with it. I put it somewhere so I'd know where it was, and I don't know where that is. Okay, if it was alive, it would have bit me. But, you know, we never throw anything away here in the garage, so we had this piece of tubing. This is off of some kind of old Indy car, and just by good luck, is threaded on one end. We cut the other end off for some reason. And the good news is, get out here where we can focus. Still can't focus. Oh well, just squint. The good news is that we left the left-handed thread end there. So that way, at least I don't have to chase around and look for a left-handed die. I can cut this tube to length, make a little insert there, stick it in there with 5/16 fine thread right hand, and make a nice little chrome bar that goes from there to there, that's adjustable with rod ends on either end. I think it's a lot tidier than what was in there, but who knows, somebody else might not like it. But anyway, that's what we're working on now. And I just had to root around the shop and see if I could find some rod ends, because as I said, we never throw anything away here in the backyard. And we got a handful of rod ends, and of course we got some 5/16 by quarter, and then we got another 5/16 by 5/16 left hand thread. So I don't know. Now I could take that jam nut there and weld that jam nut to the slug and then thread that rod end in, so I'd have some left-handed threads if I really wanted to gypsy it. I'll keep looking. The 1/4 inch I think is not feasible. Certainly the stud down there on the water pump is 5/16, and the stud on the alternator is 5/16, so really not feasible. But if I happen to have another 5/16 fine thread left hand jam nut, I just might weld that jam nut to the other end and get my threads. But that's the current project. Okay, we got our alternator adjustment rod kind of mocked up in there. Like I say, we never throw anything away in the backyard. Rooted around and found this rod end. 5/16 right hand thread. And it already had a stud fitted into it somehow. Not sure. Tried to get it out of there. Couldn't. Probably screw it in there before they put the ball together. Who knows? But it threaded right into it had a threaded stud here. It threaded right into the alternator. So it's kind of in single shear, but it's okay. There's not a lot of stress on it. And we've cut the tube to length. What we've got to do now, we just got this mocked up here. What we've got to do is make a slug to go into this tube. Got a little bit of material. We'll machine it down so it fits in there and then weld it inside the tube and thread it 5/16 fine thread. And Bob's your uncle. All right, so we got our alternator belt tension rod in there, all finished up, and we've got a little preload on it. Not a lot, just enough to keep the belt from screeching, but I think that looks a lot better than what was in there for sure. We cheated a little bit here and put a little bit of tape over where we rosette welded that insert in there, but we won't tell anybody. Now we got some more parts and pieces in today. And one of the things we got in was this spiffy looking breather cap. Now, we kind of got that because we had a think, and prior to that, we had this nice screw-in cap on the valve cover over there so we could put Earl in the engine. The other valve cover has a PC valve hooked to the back of the manifold. Don't particularly like PC valves. Never ran them before. Always just put a couple of breathers on the valve covers and off you go. But this one came with it, so I thought I'd go with it, see how it works. And it occurred to me that because we have a cap on the other valve cover, we're sort of going to create a huge vacuum in the oil pan because we're sucking air out over there, but there's no way for air to get in on the other side. At some point, I don't know what happens. So you really got to have an open breather somewhere, somehow. Modern cars, I think, run a line from that valve cover up into the base of the air cleaner and draw air in through the air filter, and then they're able to draw a little bit of that air down that way. I don't know. To me, it's bad either way, because without a breather over there or somewhere for air to get in, you got a problem. And with the breather over there, it seems to me that you've created a vacuum leak. So I don't know. I guess somebody smarter than me will figure that out, but this is what I see people doing, is putting a breather on that other valve cover, and we'll see how that works. I'm hopeful that the thing doesn't stick up so far that it hits the hood. Every solution creates a problem, so what seemed like a good idea may not turn out to be a good idea. We'll have to see when we close the hood.